All right, family, peace and love, peace and love. We're back live again. Today we're tuning in from our office in the Philippines. We're clocking right now. It's 1:42 a.m. I know it's about 1:42 p.m. back home. We got Z in the PJs. We got Rye. We got Justine working on some CFPB reports. Forts, the man with the plan out there, working on a couple things as well too. Some funnels, some things that we're all putting together. So looking forward to tuning in today's live. I know a lot of people are drowning in student loan debt. I want to show you guys, an example of and how we were able to help this client remove over 29,000 in student loans. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. I know men and women lie, but numbers don't lie. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some results from one of our clients recently that had student loans removed. Bro, he said the student loan just got closed. I appreciate you, brother, through it all. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys this. So this is specifically from camera quality is terrible. Bro, the student loan just got closed. I appreciate you through it all, brother. Student loans, U.S. Department of Education. I know many of you guys may be dealing with them as well too. U.S. Department of Education. And here's a post that he had created. Yes, you heard it right. I have managed to diminish 26,000 worth of debt. Huge shout out to Billionaires Club for educating me on the importance of financial systems, on how we've been deceived most. What is it? Most of our lives and not even realizing it. Through suffering and adversity, God always has a plan. I heavily recommend you guys to tap into the university. This not only just student loans, there's auto loans, mortgage loans, bankruptcies, late payments, charge offs, etc. If you guys need help as well, I can help point you guys in the right direction, to DM me. So he showed, student loans, was at 29,000. You guys can see the total, it's at zero, dollars now. You guys can see one closed account, that account being the student loans. Let's see. So all in all, family, it did take some time, working on his report, but I'm gonna give you guys the exact steps, that we went ahead and took to go ahead and get these student loans removed from his report. So as I mentioned previously, there is secondary reporting agencies, which a lot of these, credit individuals are out there calling them, but they're really just consumer reporting agencies themselves. A lot of them do furnish your personal information as well too, where Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion will go and purchase and furnish this information from, and then report it on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So what I want you guys all to go through and do is I want you guys to pull your reports from LexisNexis, Sage Stream, Innovis, not freeze them, but actually pull your reports, pull your consumer report, see what they're reporting, and with the FCRA, you guys will be able to go ahead and get that information removed from those consumer reports. Getting this information removed from a consumer report is going to help you guys in regards to getting it removed from the big three consumer reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, because once again, a lot of times they're getting this information from these other consumer reporting agencies, and they're not able to go ahead and have quote unquote verification or validation, because a lot of times their verification or validation is coming from these other reporting agencies and the reporting of that information on those consumer reports. So if we can go ahead and get information removed from those consumer reports, this will help us with student loans and going out and get student loans removed as well too. So the next steps that we did take was sending out a cease and desist letter. Y'all know, if y'all have been watching for some time, the cease and desist, which is we like to do through a CFPB complaint oftentimes, because they'll receive that form of communication a lot quicker rather than writing a letter. CFPB is your best friend. If you guys have not created any CFPB complaints, I highly advise you guys start creating some CFPB complaints. Furthermore, they're going to tell you that it's validated, that it's verified. So with any debt, what I want you guys to understand and what really helps him is going through step by step and having them properly validate the debt in pursuant to 15 USC 1692G. So 1692G will give you 5 steps of verification to properly verify these debts. And if they're not able to provide all 5, then it's not properly validated. And therefore, as them being a financial institution, aka a debt collector, they're not able to collect on the behalf if they don't have these 5, steps of validation and verification. So I want you guys to really get familiar with 15 USC 1692G. I believe, and I've always said that, I believe that that's one of the most powerful codes within the FDCPA, which is dealing with any corporation attempting to collect any debt through any instrumentality. And if you guys remember the definition of debt, the definition of debt is any obligation or alleged obligation, right? These corporations are simply, just throwing out allegations. An allegation, you must, have facts and evidence to back that, right? And the facts and the evidence is the validation or verification, and that's through 15 USC 1692G. I like to use 1 through 5, as well as going through 15 USC 1692G. And I believe it's C or number 3. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you guys real quick, though. 92G. So 15 USC 92G is validation of debt. And if we scroll down to C, once again, admission of liability, it states that the failure of a consumer to dispute the validity of a debt under this section may not be construed by any court as an admission of liability by the consumer, right? So oftentimes they'll look to take you guys to court. They'll send in, some, some motions, threatening to take you guys to court. Once again, the failure of a consumer to dispute the validity of a debt under this section may not be construed by any court as an admission of liability by the consumer. Furthermore, they got to provide all 5, debt forms of validation. I like to go through and request them one by one. So send out CFPB complaints, send out letters, certified letters individually in regards to requesting each one of these 1 through 5 forms of validation, which is once again 15 USC 1692G. Something else, another law within the FDCPA that will help you guys tremendously is 15 USC 1692E. So all in all, I'm, guiding you guys towards specific codes that will help you guys. And you guys read through 1692E, which is false or misleading representation, as there's a lot of deception that's taking place. Because if we go to the beginning of the agreement, the beginning of the contract, from the moment that they ran our credit, right? We've been entered into a consumer credit transaction. They used our credit card to credit this transaction that's taking place. Once again, as a natural person, we're not obligated within America to paying any debts because all obligations are upon the United States. And pursuant to 18 USC 8, that'll back everything that I'm stating. And all I'm doing is educating you guys on the law and what's worked for me and experience and things that I've done to help our clients get the results as well too. And to further back that, all obligations are upon the United States, and if an obligation is debt, so all debts are placed upon the United States. Go through and read 18 USC 8 once again, and I will go ahead and show you guys very clear as to such, and that's because the United States is bankrupt. There is no money in circulation, right? So what's going on and what's taking place is that individuals are organizations, persons are paying debt off with more debt, right? How can you pay off debt with more debt with another instrument of debt? And that's all that's taking place because the only credit there is coming from us, and that's our credit card. Anything outside of that is debt. Any ticket, any statement, any remnants coupon, any form, of them attempting to collect anything is a form of them operating within interstate commerce and them using an instrument to collect more debt. That's all that they're doing at the end of the day. And that's all that's taking place because, once again, the only credit is coming from us as we are the creditors, and none of these corporations, which are fictitious entities, can even originate credit because they're simply just a piece of paper. Same with the United States, as they're simply a federal corporation, and a federal corporation or a corporation as a whole cannot originate or credit anything because they're a piece of paper, right? It's fictitious. They're fake. They're not able to speak for themselves. They're not breathing. They're not living. They're not, you know, natural. As we natural people can go out and we are not obligated to paying or obligated to any debts because we're the creditor. Deuteronomy 15, I've mentioned this time and time again. The book of Numbers, it'll tell you guys time and time again, that there should be no poor people walking amongst us. But why is there the homeless people in just about every big city, back in America? That's because people have been deceived, people have been misled, people are unaware of the contracts that they're getting into, and they're not aware that through these contracts, through the breach of contracts, you can go out and get reparations. You can go out and get paid remedy for, these accounts on you guys' reports. That's why I'm here, not to just show you guys how to get rid of these accounts from your reports. That's just the first step. Once we've gotten these accounts removed, now it's time to go get remedy as well too, and go get paid for these derogatory accounts on our consumer report. Now, all in all, if I was to sit here and help every single one of you guys, and have my company help you guys all individually, we'd be here and never get anything done. That's why I'm here teaching you guys on this channel exactly what to do, the steps to take. And if you guys are looking for any extra guidance and any extra services from me and our company, we're able to offer that help and extend our hand and specialty to you guys as well too. Now, in regards to any phone calls, a 10-minute phone call, you guys can schedule that for free, through billionairesclub.com. And we'll be able to reach out to you and help you guys with any questions that you have within 10 minutes. And I believe any question can be answered within 10 minutes. Time is of the essence, and I want you guys to come prepared. If you do have those 10 minutes, if you do schedule that 10 minutes, so that we can be efficient with the time, and we'll be able to help, guide and direct you and help show you how to fish. Because if we fish for you, we'll feed you for a day. But if I show you how to fish, I can feed you guys for a lifetime. To where not only you guys can help yourselves, but help your family go out and discharge the debts I'm sure that they're in as well too. All of us know individuals that are in student loan debt. And so without further ado, let's continue to hop into the steps to take to go ahead and get student loans removed from one's consumer report. So the next steps that we will take, CFPB complaints, along with an FTC report. The FTC report is going to help in regards to it being identity theft, as, they're deceiving you into believing that you are the one who's obligated to paying the debt, when it's really the corporation which is mirroring your guys' you, the natural person, right? The term person is a natural person or an organization. So they're actually coming, and they're not in the wrong for coming after the organization to attempt to collect the debt, because the organization was created by the United States Inc., right? By, and if we go through 18 U.S.C. 8, it'll state once again that all obligations are upon the United States. Well, the corporation, the organization that they, created and assembled for you guys is actually property of the United States. So yes, all debts are placed upon these organizations as well too. So they're coming after this organization, but with the organization being property of the United States, they should know how to go out and settle those debts as a whole. Because once again, you are not the organization in which they're coming and attempting to collect this debt from. You, the natural person, are not obligated to pay any of these debts, and you are not this organization. So you got to know how to decipher yourself from the organization, and act as the natural person that you guys are. To take back your guys' power. That's why the Consumer Protection Act as a whole was even passed in the first place. Is because consumers were being violated, and therefore they put in place a whole subchapter, to protect our credit, right? The Consumer Credit Protection Act, right? It's not corporation credit protection; it's a consumer credit protection, because credit is only coming from a consumer, and the consumer is what? A natural person, right? So we got to understand, that within this corporation, we are a consumer, and you guys have always heard the saying that the customer is always right, correct? So if you guys have heard that saying, then, and that's because without any customers, without any consumers, there is no corporation. So the moment that we stop embarking and engaging into this corporation, this corporation will collapse, and that goes to pulling our money out of the banking system, planting and growing our own gardens and our own crops. Right? We don't need this corporation, to survive, but we've been, so reliant upon the system that is continuing to enslave us that, we're okay with just continuing to be slaves and, go along with the system that they've enslaved us with. And overall, because many people think that slavery has ended, and it was abolished, but, modern day slavery is you paying these debts, is you, getting into these contracts, not knowing who you guys are, right? And, working, to fulfill another man's dreams just to pay off these debts, when all in all these debts are and already have been credited. When you guys can go out and fulfill your own passions and your own, things, but in order to do so, you got to be educated financially. That's why I'm here to teach you guys, the depths and the ins and outs of consumer law to go out and discharge any and all debts. So without further ado, the FDCPA will be your best friend with the steps and the processes that we're going to take with discharging student loans. So get very familiar, know the ins and outs, know the definitions, know the congressional findings of the FDCPA. If you guys don't know where it starts, anybody that's new to this channel, check out 15 USC 1692. That's the start of the FDCPA. And like I mentioned, the first steps that you guys will take is creating a CFPB complaint along with an FTC report. We call this our CFPB and FTC sandwich. From there, the next steps that you guys will take is a notice of dispute, putting them on notice, right? A notice of dispute is going to put them on notice of the inaccuracies, is going to put them on notice of the deception practices, it's going to put them on notice, that you're well aware that they've misused your guys' credit, right? And the misuse of one's credit can, let's go ahead and check out the Truth in Lending's congressional findings and what it states. Right, the informed use of credit results from an awareness of the cost thereof by consumers. It is the purpose of the subchapter to assure a meaningful disclosure of credit terms so that the consumer will be able to compare more readily the various credit terms available to him and avoid the uninformed use of credit, and to protect the consumer against inaccurate and unfair credit billing and credit card practices. So not only the FDCPA, but Truth in Lending as well too will help you guys. Furthermore, how many of you guys were given your guys' rescission forms, right? You guys are all good to clock out as well too. Your rescission forms is what's gonna, allow you guys to go ahead and, rescind any contract, and understand that if there's been a breach in the contract, you guys are able to go ahead and rescind those contracts because, you guys have been deceived and things weren't very clearly and conspicuously disclosed to you, the consumer. And since they weren't clearly and conspicuously disclosed, and make sure to check off what you have done or haven't done in the daily checklist. You guys weren't clearly disclosed upon, the things that must be disclosed within the consumer credit transaction, and you guys have the right to rescind any transaction within 3 years or upon the delivery of the rescission form, right? So really thoroughly read through 15 USC 1635. Don't just go out and exercise it if you're not properly informed upon the ins and outs of 1635. But 1635 is what's helped us go out and get this removed. I recommend using this throughout a CFPB complaint, along with sending it, via mail, so you have that hard copy copper or hard copy copy, and receipts, to where if and when we do go through the arbitration process, you'll have evidence, because it's not what you know, but it's what you guys can prove. So we want to, gather up our evidence. Same thing with the CFPB and the FTC report, the FTC sandwich, CFPB and FTC sandwich. If you guys watch that video that we have on it, I tell you guys to print that out and to send that off with a notice of dispute as well too. So that all is going to be certified mail as well, and that will be another form of evidence that we'll be able to have and use down the road if we do go throughout the arbitration process. So notice of dispute is the next step. After that, after we've gone through and we sent off some cease and desist letters, we've sent off some letters in regards to debt validation. From there, we've gone out and we've exercised our right to rescind. I'd also heavily use 15 USC 1611, right? 1611 breaks down and explains how they can be held criminally liable for willfully and knowingly violating. And this is why they're quick to remove counts when we're going out and exercising consumer laws. So this is what does differentiate and will help you guys get quicker results is by properly knowing how to articulate these consumer rights within letters. And so they can be in prison, or they can be fined up to $5,000 for willfully and knowingly giving false or inaccurate information or failing to provide information which he is required to disclose under the provision of this subchapter. And under this subchapter, it's truth in lending. Lending has taken place through every single consumer credit transaction. So if there's a consumer credit transaction, that means that there's been lending that's taken place. And if there's been lending that's taken place, that falls under truth in lending. So therefore, they must give false, or they must not give false or inaccurate information. And if they do so, we can hold them criminally liable, and they can be imprisoned for not more than 1 year, or they can be fined up to $5,000. You guys should read that in 15 USC 1611. Furthermore, after we've gone through the FTC, the CFPB complaint, send that off with a notice of dispute complaint as well too. We're going to send that directly to whom we're in the agreement with, whom we're in the contract with, the financial institution. After we've done that, we're going to want to go ahead and we're going to want to apply for some accounts. Whether we are denied or approved, we're looking to be denied, right? The more that we're denied, the more damages that have taken place. Now that damages have taken place for them, reporting this false and inaccurate information now has damaged your guys' livelihood. So I want you guys to explain how it's damaged your guys' livelihood, and only you guys can define that. From there, I want you guys to create and draft up a pre-arbitration letter, and this pre-arbitration letter is going to now talk about, them losing out on money. Once we start talking about them losing out on money, and we've got evidence to back what it is that we're stating, they're now going to, communicate a lot more effectively, and they're going to be able to help us a lot more because they're not going to want to lose out on thousands to tens of thousands of dollars, on an account where typically, it's a couple hundred to a couple thousand. Now, when we're speaking on student loans, I want you guys to look at the finance charge because within truth in lending, you guys can get double the finance charge per each violation. You guys can also mention double the finance charge and mention all the violations within the pre-arbitration letter as well too, because once again, under truth in lending is double the finance charge. So I want you guys to gather your agreement. I want you to look up the truth in lending disclosure. Within there is going to have a finance charge. We know, for those that have been here for some time, if you guys are fairly new, the finance charge is the sum of all charges. The sum of all charges means the total payments. That means the total amount of all charges. But granted, they're still looking to continue to make month-to-month payments on something that's already been financed, right? Something that's already been credited. That's why we talk about in truth in lending a misuse of one's credit, and that's why they talk about that. Let's see. It is the purpose of this subchapter to assure a meaningful disclosure of credit terms, so that the consumer will be able to compare more readily the various credit terms and avoid the uninformed use of credit. Right? Why are we talking about avoiding the uninformed use of credit? Because if we were properly informed upon the use of our credit, we would understand that we are the creditor through every single transaction with these debt collectors and financial institutions, as we're the ones who is granting them the right to therefore extend credit. If you think of an extension cord, right, an extension cord isn't the true source of power, right? The actual power plug and where it's being plugged into is the true source. It's the battery. That's the true source of where it's coming from to allow that extension cord to be able to then, give power to whatever it's being plugged into. So in order for them to extend credit, it's got to come and originate from the true source of power. Whom or where is the true source of power? That's us. The power resides within us. And that's what I'm here to show and teach you guys. And that's, why I'm leading you guys towards these consumer laws within Title 15, Chapter 41. Right, the name within Chapter 41, the title of this chapter, the Consumer Credit Protection, tells you guys everything and more that you guys need to know. Right, so from the pre-arbitration letter, if they're still not in compliance, we're going to go ahead and apply for a couple more things. Knowing that we're going to get denied as we've been denied, now we can go out and have even more damages. And from there, we're going to go ahead and take them through arbitration. And you guys will file arbitration through adr.org. If you guys are looking for more in-depth and specifics within arbitration and pre-arbitration, we do teach that within our online university at YBS University. Here on this channel, I'm giving you guys everything and more that you guys need. Now, if you guys are looking for specifics, if you guys are looking for in-depth, if you guys are more of a visual learner, we got all the visuals and all the step-by-steps and recordings within YBS University to show you guys how to go through pre-arbitration and arbitration to get what you guys are looking to get done. So that's everything in terms of student loans, getting them removed. Make sure to remember to pull and order those reports from Innovis, SageStream, LexisNexis, right? Let's see, there's another ADP, right? Order those consumer reports, and I don't want you guys to freeze them, but order them so that we can go through and use the FCRA, right, which deals with all consumer report agencies, to go ahead and get those accounts removed so that Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion don't have anywhere else to go through and look. And this is all before we go through and do anything with Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion, or the creditors themselves as well too, because oftentimes these creditors will just communicate with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and from there, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion will go and seek the information from these other reporting agencies, which has been originally furnished on. For example, if you guys got bankruptcies, it's originally was furnished through LexisNexis, and LexisNexis sold that to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And so, once again, family, let's make sure we get that information removed from these other reporting agencies before going through and doing any steps that I did mention here on this live. But now I'm going to go ahead and leave this for you guys that may have any questions here. We got my guy 321JD checking in from Florida. What's up, guys? Peace and love to you as well too. What I'm going to go ahead and do for anybody that does join our membership level, which is the mob. So if you guys join the mob, which is our membership level here on the YouTube, for those that join it, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a 30-day access to our Telegram channel that we have within YBS University, and also our mentorship as well too. So I'll give you guys access to our Telegram for 30 days. If you got questions on child support, go ahead and just drop it down below, and I'll be able to help with what I'm able to help with. A lot of that is in regards to the FDCPA. I've personally never handled nor helped anybody in the child support area, but there is somebody that does specialize in that, and his name is Child Support Fraud on Instagram. I've heard him speak live at a conference, so you guys can reach out to him more in regards to that. But all in all, it is a debt itself, and so I don't see how nor why the FDCPA would not be applicable to such. So I would definitely use the FDCPA, which the start of the FDCPA is 15 U.S.C. 1692. I would also mention and use cease and desist and debt validation as well too. Also, a lot within false or misleading representation, which is 15 U.S.C. 1692E. But all in all, go ahead. They're reporting to my credit. So if it's on your consumer report, we definitely can help in regards to that. So I would pull your LexisNexis report, and I would pull some other LexisNexis would be the first one. Pull the ones that I had mentioned here on this live as well too. Innovis, SageStream, ADP. Pull these consumer reports. But for anybody that does get access to the mob, which I believe is only $25, I'm gonna give you guys access to our Telegram channel, which within there will more than cover the $25, along with the videos and the things that you'll get within our membership level here within the mob on the YouTube channel. To learn how to get access to that, make sure you guys are on a desktop or a laptop. Click on my channel and click join, and it will show you guys 3 different membership levels. You guys got to join the mob, which the mob is our top membership level here on the YouTube. It's $25. which is very cost affordable to anybody and everybody, regardless of what situation you're in. If you don't think so, you guys are paying Netflix subscriptions, you guys are paying, Amazon Prime subscriptions, you guys are paying, Apple subscriptions, all these subscriptions that you guys can cancel, invest $25 into your education, and then you guys can get not only the videos and the guides and the step-by-steps that we have and more of the blueprints within the mob for only $25. You guys can also get access to our private community where you guys could get more hands-on with me, ask questions, which will be able to get done along with so many different files and PDFs and recorded videos within the Telegram channel that we've had for some time. So for anybody that is looking to go ahead and get access to that private community for 30 days, I'll allow you guys to get access by just joining the mob, right? The mob, which is only $25 here on the YouTube channel. Now, anybody that is looking to get their credit worked on from me and our company, for the month of May, we will be taking a down payment of $150, while only $150 to go ahead and get access to our team hands-free system where we'll be working on your guys' report. I see my guy, the Scotty Dog 266. Make sure to reach out to me, brother. I love all the information and the insight that you leave within all of our comments. So definitely would love to look to build with you. I see my guy, JD, checking in from Florida. Peace and love to you as well too. Make sure to drop what city. I see the Life of Aubrey tuned in from Louisiana. Drop what city within the state that you guys are tuned in from, because as mentioned, this year we will be touring. So tour dates, tour flyer will be coming soon. We're gonna finalize that and finish that. I was looking to go on tour in June, but we're out here in the Philippines and we got some other things that we got to handle before we go on tour. So I'm looking to push off the tour towards the end of the year. That's why I haven't dropped the tour date nor the flyer for such. But when I drop that flyer, everything will be set in stone. We'll have the locations and we'll have everything set in stone going forward for our tour dates and our tour flyer. So all in all, family, let me see. Does anybody have any questions for me? If we don't have any questions, I'll go ahead and end this live here. I believe this will be a great recording for all of you guys, to share with individuals that do have student loans, that are looking to have those student loans removed, as we'll be able to help with all of that in this video. If they're looking to get some hands-on, if they're looking to work with me one-on-one, check out billionairesclub.com and see what you guys feel will be best for you guys to go ahead and get what you guys are seeking, to go ahead and get that student loan removed. Now, what will help as well too a lot, family, what would be greatly appreciated is if everybody watching the recording, if everybody here tuned in live can drop a like on this video so that more people can get in tune with this information and with our teachings here. And if you guys are not in the public Discord, make sure to join our public Discord. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for that right now so that you guys can go ahead and get access to our public Discord. And if you guys don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and end this live here. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys another 2 minutes to go ahead and ask any questions that one may have. If you guys are looking to reach out to me or my team, simply text the word consumer law to 305-575-2843. I'm grateful for you as well too, Scotty the Dog, for tuning in, brother. Always saying a student, even with all the insight and information that you do have, always staying a student. Staying a student and expanding your learning. And I believe the best leaders are the best students. So I believe one day you'll lead many, many people, brother. So keep doing, and keep doing your studying and remain a student always, as I'm always a student myself every day. All right, family. So the next time I go live, we're going to be going live over repossessions. So I got some things for those with repos. And I'm also going to be releasing and launching my ebook, for those tuned in for the repossessions live that I'm going to be doing here very soon. And the ebook will be free for anybody that is a part of YBC University. So that will be launched within the Telegram. Also, those that tune into the mob, because that's going to be in the Telegram channel. Also, I did drop one of our unreleased ebooks So by joining the mob, you guys can get access to one of our unreleased ebooks as well too. A couple of them actually, really just about a good majority of them. So for $25, you guys can get access to unreleased ebooks and things that I haven't even dropped yet to the public. That will be able to help you guys a lot of step by steps, a lot of guides. So I look forward to building with each and every single one of you guys. Looks like no more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys to go on about your guys' day. And as always, I'll see you all at the top because the bottom